Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hi, Nidhi. Let me pull up my phone. Hi, Nilufer. Hello, Riti. Hi, Kanchan. Hi, Drashti. Wonderful. We have a lot of people joining in. It's great. Hello. Hi. Hi, Shruti. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Nilufer. Thank you for joining. Okay, let's begin now. Just waiting. How are you all doing today? Hope everyone is doing good. Great. Seeing a lot of people joining us, so just waiting for everyone to join in. Nice, we have more people. Hi, Ocean. How are you doing? Okay, so let's begin. Welcome everyone to the Knowledge Happy Hour. Today is our, I think, session number 14. I'm just losing count of all the sessions, but yes, this is episode 14. And you know, in Knowledge Happy Hour, every day we meet at this time, 7:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and we discuss one new topic. We bring to you one new topic, to share with you, for you to know, for you to learn. With the topic, we also bring in a new speaker, and this time we have not one but two speakers. So today is a panel, and can I have my two panelists for today? Hi, Rubleen. Hi, Shalini.
Hi,
Welcome.
Sonia.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome. Both of you are looking fantastic.
Thank you.
Sonia. You too.
So are you?
Thank you. Thank you so much. And we are joining, Rubleen and Shalini are joining me for today's session, which is on fashion trends. We are going to discuss a lot of things about fashion, especially in current times where everyone is questioning where is the fashion industry is going to go. So they both will be answering. I have a lot of questions for them, so they will be answering my questions. And of course, you are also, most welcome as always to ask your questions and anything that you want to know. Now, before I begin, I have just one important announcement to make. Today is our session number 14. We have just two more sessions. We had planned down first 14 days of lockdown, so 14 days of knowledge happy hour. But because of your immense amount of support and encouragement that we have received, we extended it by a few more days. Also, now because we are in continuous lockdown for a long time, we want to take an opinion from all of you. We want to know your feedback about how you're enjoying the Knowledge Happy Hour. Are you enjoying the sessions? Which kind of sessions do you want to know more about? Any kind of suggestions? What is the frequency that you want to, have this as daily, weekly, monthly, fortnightly? So there will be on your screen, you will find a link which will be shared by my team from Indian School of Image Management. And there is a small, very little, like quick survey form that is there. And I urge all of you to just fill up that survey form and help us to identify that how do you want your knowledge happy hour to be? How can we make it more happier for you? Okay, so that's what we want to know from you. So please take your time. It is just going to take you a few minutes, less than a minute, I will believe, and just fill that up. I also urge both the panelists after today's session, please go and fill that up, so that will help us. Okay, so let's begin with the Knowledge Happy Hour. Today's session, as you know, is about fashion trends of 2020 specifically, and I have my two guests, and let me introduce Rubleen. So Rubleen Kaur is a mother, first of all, and she's also an entrepreneur. She's a proud alumni of Indian School of Image Management. She has completed her program, and she's also educationally certified from jewelry designer. She's educationally certified jewelry designer from Indian Institute of Gems and Jewelry. She's worked in esteemed export houses of jewelry at Seeps India, and she has more than a decade of experience in fashion jewelry. Currently, she is pursuing her passion because she's a certified image consultant. So she is pursuing her passion, and she's working and offering workshops as well as individual consultant to the clients. I know, the kind of work Rubleen does. I have seen her clients' feedback, and they have been phenomenal. Means so she is somebody who you'd really want to go to when you are going for an individual consultation. Coming to Shalini, Shalini is our second guest for today. Again, a proud alumni of Indian School of Image Management. She has also completed her education in BSc Home Science and BCom. She has done her courses in ICFI University in Personal Counseling, NLP. She has also completed Image Consulting and Soft Skills program. She has work experience, a lot of work experience in variety of fields. So it's amazing what she has done in her entire work experience. She's worked in stock market. Surprise. Shalini, it was a surprise for me. I was like, really? I need to maybe learn more about you. So she worked in stock market. She operated a travel agency, ran an e-commerce site, had a toy library, had a retail fashion boutique, and currently she's starting out as an image consultant and personal counselor. So amazing amount of experience, and I need to get on one-on-one with you to just learn how you did so much. And not only that, another side of Shalini is that she's associated with Rotary. A lot of you are aware about Rotary Club. And there she is very actively, a very active member. So she gets a lot of opportunity to work with NGOs and so devote a lot of time to philanthropy, which I have known personally about her. Apart from this, she loves retail therapy. We all love that. And betting in casinos, wow. And horse races and watching Formula One, wow. I know one another person who has this similar hobby and interest. So great to know so much about both of you, and welcome to today's Knowledge Happy Hour.
Thank you, Sonia. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. Especially coming from you, it's even more special now.
Wonderful. And Shalini, welcome to you also to the Knowledge Happy Hour. It's just a great opportunity to have both of you here and to share your, views.
Thank you, Sonia.
So shall we get started in our today's session?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so as we all know that we are going to discuss about fashion, and fashion is something I've been reading a lot of articles, and everyone is saying that in this COVID situation, fashion is not going to be, it's not in anybody's top priority right now. Nobody wants to discuss that. Nobody wants to talk about it. So we thought that because it's such a big industry, and before this entire pandemic situation, that used to be one of the top-notch but industries overall globally. So what is going to be the future of it? And that's what we are going to discuss today about what is going to be the future. So my first question is for both of you, which is on the similar lines. What do you think will change in this lockdown in the entire fashion industry? Like, I know a few of, these top-notch brands, and the entire LVMH group is making masks. So they have opened their factories and everything else, and they're making masks and everything else. But then that is not their core product. So what's going to change? Shalini, do you want to take it up first?
So like all other industries, now fashion industry is also shaken, like you just said. So Indian designers and designers all over the world, they are trying to re-strategize and trying to invent ways, how they can reinvent fashion culture in accordance to consumer behavior.
Right.
Because Of course, it is going to change. Lots of things are going to change after lockdown.
True.
People are basically going to buy things they need. They're going to think before they buy.
Absolutely.
So there's going to be a massive shift in consumer behavior. So fashion is now actually concerned with crisis management and contingency planning.
Right.
So if we really see all these famous brands, like you said, LVMH and from Prada to Zara,
Right.
they have now shifted their entire focus into manufacturing masks and gloves and medical gowns and gloves. So it's a massive shift right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think they all are doing a lot in humanitarian grounds, and this is a very interim phase also. So because as as shoppers, I'm going to take my instance. So for most of us, fashion is retail therapy. Shopping is retail therapy.
True.
So this, according to me, it is a very interim stage. Of course, nobody knows where this is going to end.
Yes.
But of course, it is going to come back.
True.
So that is a positive side of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, that is a very important thought. And to understand that it is interim, it's not going to be something that is going to go on for a very long time, maybe in a different shape or form. What is your input, Rupleen, about this? What do you think?
Yeah, sure. So I think not only fashion, like every other industry, this pandemic has left fashion industry shaken. And it has brought to a spot that we now urgently need to look into future.
Right.
A lot of people are taking drift. They are understanding how important it has been to re-strategize your business.
Correct.
Let me add an example here. So a lot of fashion shows are now either going virtual or they are trying to postpone it to an indefinite date.
Right.
For example, like last month, I think March 24th, Shanghai Fashion Week actually organized an online show where all the models walked in an empty showroom. And to the surprise, this was a big hit because it was viewed by millions of viewers.
Right.
So yes, also coming to Indian fashion, how can we forget designers like Tarun Tilani and Sabyasachi?
Mm-hmm.
So in fact, drifting from fashion, they are now focusing on showcasing their love for maybe music and art. Also, Shaman and Bhumika chose Instagram to launch their spring summer sale.
Right.
So I think they all have understood how important it is to take a shift, be online, be available, be visible. And they all are now focusing on consumer connection, encouraging consumer connection, and be it anyways, online or maybe online polls. So
Right.
that is how it has affected, the lockdown has affected industry.
Correct. No, those are really important points. And everyone, I think, including like even us or individually or even companies, everyone is re-strategizing, everyone is rebranding, trying to think what is next and how it is going to go on to. So yes, I think this is a time maybe to just give it some time and not make any assumptions at this point of time, and try something new, like how you said, the fashion show that happened in the empty mall. So
Right.
that is something really important, to try something new, keep trying and keep seeing that what is going to work with the crowd. The second thing that I want to ask you is that since there's no manufacturing, do you think that it will impact sale, and how?
Okay. You want me to go first?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so that's true. There is no manufacturing happening, but the stores are shut, so there is no sales happening as well. Also, this pandemic has left us in a state where it has brought us to a global recession. Not to forget the continuous fall of the stock market, the eroding net worth, also the job unemployment at its highest. So looking at all these, I think till there is some certainty, people would not really go out to buy some new products. They would actually think before buying now what is necessary. So the practical factor has come again. Whereas, yeah, that is why I mentioned luxury brands and all these have taken the major hit, right? Also, designers and fashion houses are now focusing on re-strategizing their core business and before seeking out to markets for fashion. So they have the need for re-strategizing is very, very important here. Also, that is why I feel they might now have to come up with huge discounts to ultimately get their products sell. To they might want to get rid of that inventory they already own. So that is why I think this is the as an image consultant, this is the best time to invest in. I would suggest my customers. Also, now how social distancing has been affected, it has escalated the need of digital channels. So definitely it has it all these things considering it will impact sales. I'm sure Shalini would want to add on a few points here.
Yeah, Rubli, sure I would. I actually feel that the decline of many companies, which there would be a decline of many companies that were already struggling before the pandemic happened also. And so the market is not going to be full of shoppers, but the ones who are going to be shopping would probably be young consumers. And the ones who would be actually who would have a job stability, who would be in the house trading online, they would also be shopping, and their choices would be influenced by the fashion currently happening. And I also feel that the haute couture probably for some time will become completely customized, whereas these fashion brands are going to get into more affordable pieces, more pret line that's going to sell right now. And I think retail is definitely taking a hit because the tourist dependent stores are no longer going to be there. I mean, functioning the same way. So we have to now wait and see and wait for the tourist season to revive and like the retail to revive again.
Sonia, you're not audible.
Twice. Okay.
Yeah, much
Okay. Is
better.
it better? Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. So, 1 second. Is it better now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
Now I can hear you.
So those are really important points from both of you, and I really think that this entire aspect of creating customized clothing, that is, I believe, is going to be the shift over here, because sooner or later, right now, yes, it is just maybe a month maximum, 2 months maximum. We all have enough clothes in our wardrobes to actually take care of it. But sooner or later, if it is going to be like a ongoing situation or is going to impact our lives, there will be such changes that you are all suggesting. They will be visible in our day-to-day life. In fact, even being on the customized size and focusing on the customized size more than just buying whatever is available right there. People will be more aware about that what works for me, and I need to buy limited, and I need to buy something that really, really works for me, right? Now coming to us, because we were talking about fashion as a separate industry altogether, but we and all four of us over here on the screen and most of our audiences today, we are all most of us provide personal shopping as one of our services. So if you would like to tell your customers that as a personal shopper, what is the advice that you would give to them?
I feel the interest in sustainability right now would be more than ever.
Right.
Repetition of clothing is no longer seen as a sin.
Right.
Because previously also, Deepika Padukone, Kate Blanchett, your Kangana Ranaut, they have all been seen sporting, the same outfit in multiple occasions.
Right.
So they have basically taken a stand on waste, concerning fashion industry.
Correct.
Because the clothing industry is one of the second largest polluters in the world.
Oh, yes.
So yeah, so the need of the hour is a sustainable wardrobe
Right.
for sure.
Absolutely. Yes. And Rubleen, what's your take on it?
Okay. So as a personal shopper, I think I would recommend my customers to apply the technique of 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And as an image consultant, we all know, how important recycle, revive, and reuse is. So this is the time to put this into action. Also, I would urge them to shop into your own closet. Okay, take out those pieces that we once invested in. We
Mm-hmm.
love it, but now we don't have the time to wear that. So
Right.
maybe buy accessories to enhance that piece if you don't own one, and create looks out of it. In fact, some of us can take the liberty to shop into our mother's closet. I mean,
Right.
why not? We
Yeah.
all know our moms do own those heritage vintage pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a time we can make the right use of it.
Right.
Adding a belt and maybe some accessorizing just change the game.
Correct.
So definitely these are the three things I would, as a personal shopper, I would tell my customers. I would also want to help them by telling them what is the right time to shop. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I don't want my clients to wander around and looking for things, because so many sales coming up and then you ultimately buy thing and we will never use it.
Right.
So rather, I will suggest them that use your time and money effectively.
Right. Right. No, those are really good points. And one of the wonderful things about image consulting is yes, personal shopper, if somebody has not studied the concept of image consulting, they may be just not, maybe looking at reviving their business or relooking at all the aspect of sustainability. But I have been saying since day one that this is one profession where it actually starts from the idea of sustainability. Like, look at all our
Absolutely.
concepts. We talk about creating modules out of your own. So, shop the closet, creating modules out of it, making, using same outfit. We talk about being resourceful. So how can you use, you have one piece of garment and how you can use or make multiple looks out of it. So it
Absolutely.
is one profession where you kind of, really take something. If you're given one piece of cloth or one accessory, you just make 100 out of it. So that's, I think, a talent that we have. And it is now more the all the more important now. What will happen that sometimes when we have these talents of creating more out of something, but your client may or may not necessarily need that. They would come back and say, but I want what's there in the store and I want it every week. So now you and your client would be in sync. I believe that you have those talent or that skill to make
Right.
more out of something, and your client would also be looking for more out of their wardrobes. Yeah. So
Right.
the entire aspect of reusing and recycling and sustainability and trying to create as many modules as possible is going to be a big thing in personal shopping. So take a
Absolutely.
note,
Right.
everyone. All right. If you have to, Shalini, like how Rubleen said that, the one thing that she wants to just really put emphasis on is that you can shop your closet. What is that one thing you would like to add to the whole aspect?
Um, so what we could do is basically we can shop the closet as
Mm-hmm.
she has put it,
Mm-hmm.
and to make it fun, basically every day try, an interest happens, when you wake up in the morning, you open your cupboard and you just see the clothes, to get into that excitement,
Right.
what I'm wearing next. You already have like a buffet of clothes lying there.
Right. Right.
Some would be with labels and some probably labels in the sense tags which you've
Right.
never worn before. So this
True.
is the time to experiment.
Right.
Take out all those clothes that you have not worn. Just
Right.
try, doing various combinations and take pictures and create an ebook. And believe me, after the lockdown, when you look at it, you'll probably have like the entire style, file in your hand.
Right, true. Very true. So I think what I can take as a summary from both of you as a takeaway is that shop your closet and don't be afraid to experiment. That's what both
Absolutely.
Rubleen and Shalini are saying. So um, just on add on this point only, if we are talking about personal shopper, and a lot of them who are right now pursuing our audiences right now, and some of them who have just stepped into the world of personal shopping, just graduated from institute, or maybe just started out, maybe they're just 1 year into this or 2 years into this. So what would be your suggestion that how can they build up their credibility as a personal shopper, or as somebody who's like a, as an image consultant also? How would you suggest to build up the credibility at this time? Shali,
So,
you want to take? Yeah, go ahead.
I feel number one, networking is really important. I mean, you need to be in touch with people.
Right.
And basically, it is customer management.
Mm-hmm.
That is really important.
Right.
So basically, to build credibility, we first need to build trust.
Mm-hmm.
And if people trust you, they like you, they want to do business with you.
True.
And so the thing is, it is important to know who your audience is, so you can talk to them in the language that they understand.
Right.
So this actually builds a lot of credibility and likability.
True. True. Yes.
So I think we need to listen to what their problem is before responding.
Correct.
And giving them a solution accordingly.
Right. No, that's a very good, important point, that because you are in lockdown, don't be shy of reaching out. Now we are in an era where you don't need to really be, disconnected with people. There's so many ways. In fact, we found a way to, connect with everyone. We are connected to so many audiences right now. So this is one of the best way to, just go out. And as Shalini very clearly said, that credibility and likability, those are the two things that you want to work upon, because if you don't build upon that, and if you don't have the trust, people will, at this point of time especially, they want to come to a person who's well known, who they believe, who they trust, not well known in terms of like, oh, they are celebrities or something, but someone they know personally, somebody they can relate with. And that's where the trust and the credibility, likability comes into picture.
Right.
Very important actually aspect that you brought up. If you have questions and you have been commenting, I can see Sunita is saying that Pret is going to be the thing. It looks like to her. So she is kind of in sync with what you said, Shalini. If you have more questions, audience, please start dropping it into the chat option in your comments so that we can ask Shalini and Rubleen. You don't have to wait towards the end of the session, because it's a Q&A, it's a panel. So there is absolutely no harm. I'll take them up as and when they are coming up. Okay, Shalini, you there?
I would want to add on. Can I add on something to
Sure.
credibility?
I was about to come to you. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so I think to credibility, as very rightly said, we need to build trust. So I think giving testimonials, sharing your testimonials with your client, giving out proof, be it in form of articles or message or any which ways which is comfortable, do share it. That adds on to a factor to add credibility.
Right.
Also, I personally feel this is like an experience. Obviously, I wouldn't want to name it on this platform, but it's like an experience I want to share. Never hard sell your service.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a no factor in credibility, because hard selling is, obviously we would not want anybody calling us and forcing us to join them. So if as Shalini said, if you are good, if you are trustworthy, people would come to you and do business with you.
Correct. No, I totally agree with that. That especially this time, I don't believe that this is the time to hard sell. Maybe yes, selling is still going to happen, and you should not stop selling. But hard selling this is not the time. You should just, maybe this is the time to just say that this is how it can help you. Talk about adding value. Talk about how you can add value, and then let the person take it up when they want it. So you just need to give them the space to decide for themselves. Very important point about that, Rubleen. I think Shalini should be back with us. I think she got dropped out. Now my next question, and meanwhile I'll push the question to you, Rubleen. Now, if you have to take this time as an opportunity to increase your visibility, so you said networking is one, and reaching out and communication is one, but how else can you? We talked about credibility, but how can you increase your visibility in this time?
I think, Sonia, this is the time to reflect and introspect.
Mm-hmm.
We all have understood how important it is to be visible, to be on social media.
Right.
We all are blessed with this amazing WhatsApp group and Facebook group, but most of the time we choose to be silent observers.
Right.
So I feel this is the time to get into action, start commenting on posts what other are sharing, start liking their work. So when you come up with something, you will have the same response.
Right.
So this is one way you can increase your visibility.
Mm-hmm.
Also, keep posting on social media, which is very important. There is another factor. It's like a benefit from posting on social media is you understand your audience. That is very, very important. So use this time to understand the mindset, understand what age group of audience is getting attracted to your post. So maybe your future posts are all sorted then.
Right.
You will post something which they would like.
True.
So I think these are two ways you can definitely increase your visibility.
True, absolutely. I think that's again, very good points from you, Rubleen, that it is the time to get onto the platform, and we have the access to internet, we have the access to social media. It's a boon right now that we can be so well connected. Like WhatsApp is just video call. People are video call away, voice call away. You can just send something, click a picture, and just send. It's so easier right now to just go and connect, and it's so amazing. In the last 20, 21, 20, whatever number of days, I don't even have a count now, but since the lockdown has happened, the number of people I've been talking to, the number of people I've been in touch with, the number of people I got in touch with, that was not happening. That number is so much more higher than what it used to be earlier. So I used to be every day going to office, going to this place, that place, events, but that used to be like a limited number of people. But suddenly, because of this entire lockdown, I am always on phone and just connected. Some people I was not in touch for years, and now suddenly we are just chatting, talking. So it's an amazing thing, this social media. And another important thing that which you raised, that about the visibility aspect of social media. Yes, means that's the idea, that you have all the time right now in the world. You would be spending a lot of time traveling. Yes, a lot of you are working from home, but imagine you're cutting down on all the time that you would spend on traveling. So use that time maybe to just think about how you can reach out to other people, how you can maybe connect with people, create your plan, create your social media strategy or something.
And the good thing here is that people are confined to home, so they are wanting to interact with people. That is why they are so active on social media.
True.
So I think this is the time as an opportunity to make yourself visible.
True.
That's
like what we are doing right now. This is our and another very important thing that I believe is, Shalini's back. Hi, Shalini. So another very important thing that I believe is that it needs to be, again, visibility should be in a way that not only that you're building your own credibility, but how you can make a difference in someone's life. And that's what the idea of doing this Knowledge Happy Hour is, that we have so much, everyone is doing their own thing right now. Everyone is trying to support to the cause. So this entire aspect of Knowledge Happy Hour, maybe we don't have factories, we don't have production facility, but we have a brain and we have a huge amount of information. All of us, right? And that's what we are doing. We are supporting to the cause and giving back to the society. Shalini, the same question for you. How do you think, again, on the basis we discuss credibility, but how can one use this time to increase their visibility?
Yes, it is very important to be visible right now, because everybody is interacting on the social platform right now.
Right.
And it has become even more, important to be visible. And of course, you don't need to hard sell anything. I mean, you just need to be visible.
True.
The other thing that we can do is actually we are all members of various groups in WhatsApp.
True.
We get added on to. I mean, there are like 100 people, 150 people in WhatsApp group, and we just wait and watch.
Right.
We do not do anything. So now I think it is a time not to be a silent observer,
Yeah.
but to start posting
True.
and start being visible
True.
and start interacting with their post also.
Correct.
Similarly, in Insta or Facebook,
Right.
I mean, we should devote 10 minutes every day, every morning
Right.
to interact with your friends, your family, your groups, wherever you can, so that people know you are visible.
True.
So, so what happens is that way there's visibility as well as credibility, because when you're posting something like a webinar or a workshop, then people can relate to who you are.
True.
And do not bypass you. They
Right.
actually know who you are, and then,
True.
they would show more interest in listening to what you have to say.
True. True. So how would you connect now if you're saying about being visible on social media? How would you connect fashion and, like visibility, like being visible on social media? Would you still suggest people to, make those videos which are about different trends and look of the outfit of the day and everything else? Do you still suggest that?
Right now, maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, I mean, look of the day and outfit of the day, maybe I can do a throwback,
Mm-hmm.
and that would probably keep them interested as
Right.
to what fashion is all about and how you can be visible.
Correct.
So when the time is right, you can again go back to ebooks, and you can start showing various personality styles,
Right.
or your body shape, how to dress properly. But right now, I think that is not important.
Right. Right. And Rubleen, what's your take on it?
I completely agree with Shalini, but yes, we can. People, there are certain age group of people, they get attracted to styling tips and how to revamp your look. So yes, why not? It's just we can share that,
Right.
but it depends. Again, what your audience is. You need to
Right.
understand what is the category of people who are following you, and then
Correct.
decide what would attract them. So
True.
maybe if I have an age group of 40 to 50, I would start styling a sari with maybe a Gucci belt and some earrings and some beautiful hairstyle.
Right.
So it all depends on your audience.
True. 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 And now we are going to go to the audience question, but I will take the liberty to ask first question. So my question to you is that what about the luxury brands, especially? I want to just touch upon that. That where is luxury especially going to go? Like, what do you predict? And it's obviously it can be nobody knows what's going to happen, but what is your feeling towards the luxury?
We all know Okay, you want to go first? It's okay.
Rubleen, go ahead.
Okay, so we all know that luxury brands have had the major beating in this lockdown. But can come up, like for example, Dior Sajal, which is actually like a 20-year-old model.
Mm-hmm.
But they brought it back, and it's again a second time it's a hit. It was a
Right.
hit there then before.
Right.
So maybe now this is going to be another strategy that they bring back their models, but just restyle it, or maybe make a sling back or clutch, and that is how they're going to play the game further.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe just not recreating and not taking that much of it on designing something from the scratch,
Yes.
but bringing
Yes.
maybe modernizing what they already
Yeah.
had and just bringing
Also,
that.
what Shalini had made a point that we might shift to Pret. So, like we have Giorgio Armani, we have Emporio
Correct.
Armani, then we have Armani jeans, and then one more. So they are catering to all set of audience. So this can be another thing that all these high-end brands can think about.
Right.
You never know.
Great. What about you, Shalini?
So I feel that it's going to be back to basics.
Right.
Luxury is not going to be the same as it used to be.
Right.
Because even before the pandemic hit, they were already going through a recession.
Right.
So it was not really selling that much. So again, the world is shifting towards sustainability.
Right.
So I think luxury definitely, it will revive, but the major fashion brands are going to revive. I mean, like they're going to come up with new strategies.
Right.
But the others who are, I mean, mostly aspiring designers are going to really come up now with newer trends and and the people who are existing right now. So basically what is really happening now, the workers and the pattern makers and the tailors, the work industry has been totally battered.
Right.
To get out, to come out from that phase, needs a lot of investment. So that may not happen for many designers.
Right.
So they will anyway have to go back to the scratch and start from the basic.
True, true. No, that's very true. And also, my feeling is that luxury is going to be there, but there is going to be this trend of entire, concept of being minimal. So minimalism is going to be the new thing. People are going to buy. Luxury will stay. It's not going to go anywhere. So this is my input to everyone, that a lot of people have been asking me, so what's going to be the future of luxury? It's not going to go anywhere, but the major trend that I believe is going to be towards minimalism. And yes, sustainability is going to be the number one thing. People are going to buy what they need, and they are going to buy from luxury because they know that it is also quality. So that brings us to this other side of it. There is going to be a massive hit on all these brands which were selling not so great quality stuff for a very, very low pricing. There could be a massive hit that these brands will take because people will be very careful of buying, what they have to buy. So they will not buy something just for one photo shoot. They will think twice about that, I need to buy that thing from that XYZ, e-commerce website for a very minimum amount just because I need to look good in this picture. So people will be careful. So we are going to go from that maximum lifestyle to a little bit towards the minimum lifestyle. We are going to only buy what is, really required. I have a lot of questions coming for you. So one of the question is from Sonali. She's asking, many times we land up wearing the same dress for an occasion as the host or guest. How do we manage such situations? Now, let me just say a little thing. So Sonali, for a very long time, I don't think we'll have that problem. You only have to manage the upper half of your. But yes, it's a good question. So, Rupleen, do you want to take it up?
Again, the styling aspect, that is one thing. If I am in the same situation, I would style it in a different way, so that I know that I'm repeating it, but people wouldn't come to know. There are many aspects how you carry it. So you can add on a few items. You can actually make an Indian go to a Western wear, like we have seen these posts. We can wear a dress under and then wrap it with a sari. So there are many ways we can style it.
Right.
So that is one thing.
True. What about you, Shalini?
I think I would accessorize it differently. And I mean, because I personally feel when you accessorize an outfit, it just somehow gives a different look each time that you wear it.
True. Accessories make so much of a difference. It's just, revamp the whole outfit altogether. So yes, dressing up, dressing down, as Rupleen said, and accessories, those are your way to go, Sonali. So think about it, how you can, use something, you have learned all the modules. So take up those concept of modules, how to mix and match, how to put on a jacket, layer up, layer down. And then as Shalini said, accessories, and they can just transform any outfit altogether. So those are your two answers. I hope you got them. Reena is asking, Shalini, this is for you. She's saying that you said about networking, it's very helpful, but it's so hard. So any tips for a beginner who has just started out?
So actually, I'm sure you are part of many groups. You should just start off from there. Because you should start posting. It's like about consistency also, how consistent you are. If you post every day,
Right.
Anyway you become visible and you come in the eyes of people.
Right. Right. That's very good insight. And Reena, I think you have been doing that pretty well because every Facebook Live you have been very interactive. You have been asking the right question, giving the right answers also. So we all know you. Of course, I have met you, but those who have not met you also, I'm pretty sure they know you very well. So that's the way you are doing everything right any which ways. So start with this group only and then just repeat the strategy in all the group as Shalini said. All right. The next question is also by Reena again, and she's asking how to know your audience demographic, any website or any source. Okay. Um, do you want to take up, or Shalini or Rubleen, do you want to add to that?
So,
Maybe you,
Okay. So maybe maybe I will.
Shalini, you take it.
Okay, Shalini, go
Let
ahead.
Shalini take it. I'll add on.
so actually, when we are talking about a personal shopper,
Yeah.
that is where we are talking about the audience.
Right.
So anybody who is going to hire you,
Mhm.
so you always, you have the right to say a no if
Mhm.
the personality, according to you, if you feel you're not going to gel with that person. So
Right.
that is why it is very important to know the audience who you are dealing with.
True.
If somebody is a little more aggressive or something, you don't want to be dealing with that kind of an audience.
True. True. True.
So yes, audience plays a very important role.
Right. Rubleen, do you have anything to add to that?
I think I'm still very new to this industry, but what
Right.
I've been observing is that you understand your audience by the amount of like you get on a post.
Right.
So obviously, it also depends on what time you're posting. So
Right.
I'm also understanding all these aspects. I've just come
Insights.
up into this industry, but yes, there is a certain time you get maximum interaction, and there is some time that you don't get.
True.
So the likability factor, what people are liking, people tend to comment, people tend to then get back to you on DMs. They
Right.
want to know the details.
Right.
It's not necessary that they will fall out for your service, but you understand their mindset.
Right. Right.
So that is
Very
one thing.
important.
Keep an eye on that. So
Yes.
you
So,
will come to know.
Reena, and you are into social media. I think Insights is your a good tool of all these platform as Rubleen said that you can just go on Facebook, go on Instagram, go into your Insights, see where you're getting the likes from, where you are getting you know responses from, engagement from. That's a good way to know your audience if you are not sure where to start from. It is more of a business question, Reena. So we are taking fashion trends, but yes, to answer your question and add on to what Shalini and Rubleen just said, one of the ground rules is to just start from your people and your surrounding. And when I say your people and your surrounding, you don't have to make them your client. You have to just observe what kind of people you spend time with. Okay, so who are your friends? What do they do? What is their lifestyle? Where do they spend time? Where do they spend money? And what are the brands that they are buying? What is their fashion liking? Or how many times they repeat an outfit? How many times they post? If you just start observing your friend circle only, that's a good way to start. Your relatives, your friend circle, people you spend time with, because most often or not, when we are starting out, the kind of audience that you attract are the people are very close to the people you spend, like in terms of their behavior or demographics. They're very close in terms of their whole personality or lifestyle to the people that you are friends with. Okay, so it matches pretty much. So you need to see your lifestyle, your friend's lifestyle, and you'll get an idea that this is my demographic. So for example, if you're in the age group of 20 or 21, you are, for example, 24. So anyone who is like 4 years younger or 4 years elder to you would be a good place to begin with. I'm not saying that restrict yourself over there, but a good place to begin with, because that's a pool that you are spending time with. So you know their likes, dislike, where they spend that time. So again, there is a whole lot of, and we talk about that in our business classes any which ways. Moving on to the fashion. So I hope you got your answer, and we'll talk in depth about this in business. Moving on to the next question, which is fashion related, and this is by Ashwin. He's asking, please share some fashion trends for upcoming fashion trends for men. Please. Charlie, go ahead.
So I think fashion trends for men, I mean, honestly speaking, all the flower trends and all are basically coming back
Right.
right now. So I don't know now where it is going to go, whether fashion is going to skip a season.
Right.
Never know.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, nice colors are coming out, basically,
Right.
the bright colors that are coming out.
Yes.
And nice, plaids are also coming out. In
True.
fact, traditional plaids, in fact, in various different contrasts
True.
for
True.
men
True.
also is coming out.
Yes.
So
Yes. That's great. So those are your trends. Ashwin, Rublin, do you want to add more on to that?
I think summer, we are in summer, so obviously pastel shades. And moreover, pinpointing on the trends, I would say it should suit your body type, it should suit your personality. That is
Yes.
the biggest trend what I follow. If
Yes.
I don't feel it might be in trend, but if I don't feel I can carry it and it suits my personality, I will never wear it.
Correct.
So understanding your own personality, understanding your plus points, and then adding on to it, everything is in trend.
True, true. And also adding on to the points that you previously covered, which is about sustainability. And Rublin said, knowing your personality and knowing your body shape. So follow those trends. What you need to do is just to take up what's in trend and then make it your own. So,
Actually.
so, and yes, if you really want to know, Ashwin, this is good news because you're all about sustainability. So sustainability is going to be the new trend, which we all expect. As I also said, that it is going to move towards being minimum, and minimalism is going to be the next thing. So that's also something that you may expect. So not many things happening in the clothes or in the design. It is just like very minimum. Another thing that I suspect could happen is the clothes to be more utility driven than being more fashion driven. So there could be a possibility that people are just looking for stuff which can fulfill their requirement more than of more fashion centric, or maybe a combination of both of them. Great. So we have a lot more questions coming in, but I will now move on to the interesting round. So I'm just going to start the rapid fire questions
Oh
for both
my
of
God.
you. Before we start the rapid fire, again, I request all of you, my team would be pasting the link in the comment section, which is for the feedback for our knowledge happy hour. We urge you all to go over there, take few seconds just to fill that out and let us know what topics you want us to cover, how you liking the sessions, are there any changes that you would want us to make, and what is the frequency that you want these sessions to happen? Because we have only 2 more sessions to go, so we would like to hear from you. All right, so bringing in the fun part, which is the rapid fire question. Are you both ready? Brace up. Okay, so one thing, this is a rapid fire, be quick. I don't want long answers. I want short, simple, quick answer. Whatever comes into your mind first, just say that. Okay, so, and I will just shoot out the question to both of you, and I'll take your name so you answer, and then I'll go to the next person, and then the next question. Yeah.
Okay.
So one question at a time for both of you.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So your first question coming up: heels or flats, Rublin?
Heels.
Shalini.
heel.
One person whose wardrobe you'd like to rate.
Anamika Khanna.
Whoa. Okay. Shalini.
Priyanka Chopra.
Great. Next question: a fashion trend you wish to see back, Shalini?
I think the 70s fashion trend with like dresses with bling.
Yes. Yes. We all need that back. Rublin.
Maybe bell bottom. I think
Bell
yeah, it is made for an Indian body type, high waist and hips, so bell bottoms would be fine.
Wow. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. Next question to you, Rublin. The most stylish actor or actress in Bollywood, according to you?
Most stylish actors, I think Hrithik Roshan.
Hrithik
He
Roshan.
is, his dressing is so simple, but he carries it off. I mean, nobody can beat him.
Nice. I think there's a little fan following also coming there. Shalini.
Ranveer Singh.
Ooh, yes. I was I was expecting that answer because I remember you once shared this entire lookbook of Ranveer in all the colors possible.
Great.
And I was like, okay, there is a lot of research happening there. Next question to you, Shalini. Trend to drop ASAP, right away.
Distressed jeans.
Oh, yes, please just stop them. I so agree with you. Just drop them, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
I think leather pants and leather skirts.
I still like that.
Like it.
Yeah, but in this weather, they are just unweathered.
Definitely.
Yeah, okay.
ASAP.
Yes, I will bring them back in winters, but
Yes.
so-called winters of Mumbai. Last question to you, Rubleen. Trend to watch out for.
Maybe blazers and shorts. That's the new
Blazers.
thing.
Nice. Shalini.
I think geometric prints.
Ooh, wonderful. I like both the trends. Okay. Your most prized possession in your wardrobe, Shalini.
My gown.
Ooh, okay. Rubleen.
I think, yeah, evening wear gowns.
So both of you have gown, which is the most prized possession. Wonderful. So that was the end of our rapid fire round, and we have just one more minute. You both did very well. No hampers. I'll send you virtual hampers. Okay. We have one question coming in from Shreja. She's asking, what are your views on the changes which will be taking place for the men clients? I think, Shreja, we answered that during the trends that we discussed, which was Ashwin's question. So you would have got your answer. I still urge both the panelists to just go, Rubleen, Shalini, if you can go in the comment section, read the question. Maybe I missed out a few because sometimes, when the comments are coming in, it's just very hard to keep a track of. So please go into the comment section, reply to the comments, reply to the questions also. People are loving the session. They are just, Sunita is in sync with almost what all you said. So she's like, yes, looks like Pret would be the way forward for sometimes at least positive visibility. And she also said, yes, the low quality stuff will see a shakeout and investment pieces may become a priority. Everyone enjoyed the session and everyone is loving it. So please go and reply to all the amazing comments. And thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your insights on the fashion trends and what people can expect. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us over. Thanks a lot.
Sonia.
Thank you, Shalini. Thank you, Rubleen. So that is for our today's Knowledge Happy Hour. And we discussed about fashion trends for 2020. And this is not over yet. We have a wonderful session that is going to come up for you tomorrow. It is going to be a panel discussion, and this is going to be something really amazing for all of you to note. Anybody who wants to become an influencer, what we discussed today, be visible, build your credibility, go on social media. This is that session. If you want to learn how to become a successful influencer and how to monetize the same, tomorrow is the session that you don't want to miss. This is going to be our panelists are Neha Shah Majitia and Hemal Majitia, who are both co-founders of Octobus. And yes, our moderator and will be Ashwin Devan. So he'll be joining you tomorrow. And see you at the same time tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. But before I go, please take your time, few seconds, fill up that feedback form. It's really critical so that we can bring you more Knowledge Happy Hour as per what you like and what you want to know. So join in tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. same time on Facebook Live. Thank you. See you. Have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.